Are at the polls today in an election pitting President Lazarus Chakwera against his predecessor Peter Mutharika. Another 15 candidates, including former President Joyce Banda, are also contesting the presidency, but analysts expect a two-horse race between 70-year-old Chakwera and 85-year-old Mutharika. If no one secures over 50% of the vote, there will be a second round. Now, our correspondent in Malawi, George Mhango, now joins us on the line. George, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Africa Update.
A very good afternoon to you too. Thank you.
Now, George, talk to us about the voter turnout. What are the numbers looking like so far? Is everyone out in their numbers to vote?
Exactly. Quite a number of people are out, and I can confirm that most of the people that are spoken to say that they've been lining up as early as 4 a.m., others 5 a.m., because voting is going to close at 4 p.m., so nobody is going to be allowed to vote at 4 p.m., except for those people that will still be queuing. And one key issue is that of age. Mutharika at 85, Chakwera somewhere around 70s. The people that I've spoken to don't look at the issue of age. What they are talking about are issues of change, economic change, so that inflation, which currently hovers at 33%, should be lowered. That's according to even the presidential candidate Peter Mutharika, saying he wants to come back to revamp the economy. For Chakwera, it's more about revamping the agriculture sector, which a number of people say is already nosediving. And if you talk to some youths are more especially interested in job creation and also ensuring that the educational infrastructure is improved, because they're talking about enrollment in primary schools, in secondary schools. The ratio does not even tally a teacher to a pupil, ratio. So those are the key issues that people have spoken to in different, polling centers, more especially in Blantyre, have been talking about and are talking about as they continue lining up.
Now, you mentioned that the polling stations will be closing at 4 p.m. Central African time. For interest's sake, were all polling stations opened at the time they were supposed to? And are there any delays? Have there been any hiccups, or is everything running smoothly?
Since morning, more especially in Blantyre, where I've been visiting these polling centers, not much of some technical challenges or maybe logistical challenges have been spotted out. People are just voting pretty well. No challenges at the moment, because the presiding officers or even the observer mission teams are able to assist, more especially those people that are not maybe able to read. So they are able to be directed to say, you can do ABCD, this is where you have to go, get your ballot, this is where you can go and vote. So everything is just moving on smoothly. I haven't heard of any challenge at the moment, but people are still indeed queuing in large numbers. The voter turnout is pretty convincing that really people registered. We're talking about 7.2 million Malawians. And of course, the southern region also contributes a lot to the figure of 7.2 million. So it's like a deciding day today. And possibly later in the day, I'll be also able to visit some other polling centers outside Blantyre, where definitely the Democratic Progressive Party, DPP of Peter Mutharika, Joyce Banda's People's Party, Dalisuka Bambe of UTM, are also indeed ensuring that they cast their vote.
Well, George, it's been a pleasure chatting to you, and hopefully we'll be able to get further updates as the day progresses, because what will be interesting is to find out exactly where everyone stands towards the end of the day in terms of their views and their hopes going forward. Thank you so much for joining us on Africa Update.
Thank you.
Our correspondent George Mhango speaking to us from Blantyre in Malawi. And also Channel Africa's reporter Michael Mbewe is in Lilongwe, Malawi, and he now joins us on the line. Michael, good afternoon and thank you for joining us on Africa Update. Michael, are you there? All right, Michael, we seem to have lost Michael there for a second or two. Michael, are you there?
Yes, I'm back. I was muted
great.
under the instruction of our leader, Tracy. I'm back now. Thank you so much.
All right. I'm sure you heard the conversation with George
Yes,
Mhango.
I was listening to my brother, George.
Yes. Now, tell us what's happening in Lilongwe. Are people out in their numbers? Did polling stations open on time? And, what's the mood on the ground?
I think it's almost identical to what my brother has alluded there, George Mhango. Things, according to my own observation since this morning, we've gone to, now I'm at the 4th polling station. Things have gone smooth. We have also witnessed the voting of, the President Lazarus Chakwera at Malembo Primary School. This is now in Kasungu district, which is not far away from the capital city, Lilongwe. It's about another 1.5 hour drive because we had to follow the president, who is now, the major talking point. But even there, the crowds overwhelming. We got a shock of our life when we saw, the crowd there. I've also already posted some, pictures of our social so that people can see for themselves. But now we are at Chigodi Primary School, also a polling station outside of Lilongwe in Kasungu district. To paint the bright picture for us, I'm now joined by, a presiding officer. My leader, thank you so much. We are live on SABC's Channel Africa, an international African radio station. Please, for the sake of our leaders, our listeners, would you please introduce yourself, sir?
My name is Stanley White. I'm one of the presiding officers here at Chigodi Primary School, Kasungu South, Kasungu District, Kasungu South constituency.
Thank you, sir, for that introduction. So tell us, what time did you start your work here at this polling station this morning?
So here we opened our polling station at exactly 6 a.m. this morning. By that time, we had already, when we for making pre-opening procedures, people were already here in their multitudes. So when we immediately opened it, we went straight to voting procedures. Okay. We already had a lot of people.
Okay, you are talking about many people that flocked in this polling station in the morning. The demographics, were you having a mixture of the old, the young people, and I can see also in front of me many women?
Yeah, of course, we had a mixture of people who came here earlier to cast their vote area so that they can leave this station to their routine activities. So they were very old, extreme old, they were youthful, and also a lot of women. But priority was given to extreme old, those who have just recently given birth, as well as with comorbidities.
Okay, sir. So, talking about the equipment or the material, the voting material, what time did you receive this material here at this polling station?
So we received the material at this polling station on the 13th of October, 13th of September, and we verified on 15th of September. Yesterday, we also had a pre-polling process training with our polling staff as well as party representative and candidate representatives, so that when we start polling, we are doing the same things.
Okay, now tell us about the experience. Have you experienced any hiccup with the systems that you are using? I know you have that device. You might mention it better. What do you call it?
We are using a technology known as the biometric voter verifier system, where a voter is identified using his biometric systems like fingers, face, features, as well as the data which is already preloaded in the gadget. So this system is helping us a lot because a voter is just staying there a minute or two. We have identified that one, And the very good thing for us as presiding officers, it is exactly telling us where can we find that person in a manual register, and we are also verifying that one immediately, and then we ink that one, then we proceed to collect a ballot paper for voting.
In an event of this magnitude, of course, you will notice one or two things that could go wrong or did go wrong. In this instance here, have you noticed anything that has, a potential of disrupting, this process of voting? What can you tell us about anything that you've seen that didn't go right on your side, on the people's side, or anybody else who was trying just to, disrupt this?
Yeah, I will start with the one people's side. There were voters who came here to vote on behalf of their husbands. So we had to cancel them so that they just vote on their own, and the husband will have to make their own initiatives to vote. The monitors, party representatives helped us to manage those situations. On the part of us, we had situations where some party representatives did not submit a list of accredited monitors. So in the first place, the procedure requires that the accredited monitors are the ones that have to monitor the elections. So we consult the district returning officer, who is always on our side giving directions.
Okay, for the interest of time, we leave it there for now. But thank you so much for giving us that perspective. We wish you all the best as voting progresses until 4 p.m. when the polls will close. Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir. Lulu, you've heard it.
Yeah, Michael.
Women coming to say, I'm coming to vote
for my husband. That's a first.
Yeah, it talks about voter education, but yeah, you always have lessons to learn.
But Michael, it also highlights the fact that they didn't make provision for people who could not go to the polling stations. So these are people now who are not going to be able to cast their ballots for whatever reasons. If they're not able to walk to the polling stations, then what happens to them?
And I think these are the questions that we need to pose to the leadership of the Malawi Electoral Commission. I mean, these are facts. I mean, this guy is a presiding officer, is leading the elections here where we are, and talking about that. I mean, I'm having goosebumps to say.
Well, Michael.
Wants to vote.
Well, Michael, we're going to leave it there for today, and we'll get updates from you as I guess the day progresses on Channel Africa with regards to what the way forward is in terms of the counting processes and when we should expect results start to trickle in after the voting. That's our reporter Michael Mbewe, who is joining us from Lilongwe in Malawi. It is 21 after 12 Central African Time.